and welcome into Cullman in the Morning. I'm Debbie Wood, and our very special guest today, Lesley Hyde. Lesley is a local business owner, and she's here to talk about one of her hobbies that she loves, and she wants to share with us and the entire community what she's doing and how you can participate, because I think it's something that you might be interested in. It's very unique and very interesting and fun. So good morning to you. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
Good. Now, of course, this is a hobby that you've been doing for many years. Is that correct?
Yes.
How did you sort of get into it?
Well, probably I love history.
Mm-hmm.
I love travel. I love, especially like in the southern United States with all the antebellum homes, all the beautiful things that we have here that makes us different. And when I would go to these different cities, Savannah, St. Augustine, New Orleans, they would always be having these like ghost walks and haunted history tours and paranormal investigations. So I started doing those tours, and they were so much fun.
Right.
People dressed in costume, and they take you back in time, and it's you learn the history, and you get to learn about all the little odd things that have happened in their city.
Right.
So that's how that happened. And then I decided, you know what, I can do this. Since I love it so much,
Right.
I might as well bring it to my hometown.
Right.
And I started my own company. So we're the Southern Ghost Girls.
Okay.
And we do haunted history tours, paranormal investigations.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, dive into that a little bit more in depth. But who are your partners when you say we? Who is we?
Well, it's, of course, myself. I founded it. I do have some friends working with me. Heather is one. I have my niece, Emma, who actually, she's younger, but she grew up like, Aunt Lesley, take me, let's go to the lighthouse, the Pensacola Lighthouse. That was one of our favorite places.
Okay.
So she grew up around me doing it, and we just had so much fun. Plus, I mean, I'm currently recruiting for other ladies to join the group also.
Okay, awesome. And let's talk about that now. Now we're going to talk about November the 17th too. That'll be coming up in just a few minutes. But when you go on these tours, when you do your own, you have some devices. I thought was very interesting that you were telling me earlier. How does that work, and what are they called, and what do they do?
Well, if you've ever seen, like on the major channels, the major network channels,
Right.
they have all these ghost shows, and they're always using this equipment to get readings to see if they can answer or explain or debunk
Right.
some things that are going on in people's houses. So those are the exact same instruments that you see on those shows.
The shows, okay.
So what they are, they're different instruments that take readings, basically. We use electromagnetic field detectors, electric static detectors. We use, of course, recorders to record voice phenomena.
Okay.
We use grids, we use cameras. We have a whole lot of equipment.
Okay, so each one of you have a particular job that you do, or do you all do it together? How do you do that?
Well, I kind of lead the team.
Okay.
And of course we do set up wherever we go into the home or museum, whatever it is, we set up all of our equipment. So I do lead it, and then we all work together to see what we can find out.
Okay.
So it's just very interesting. And science has actually always been, I love science, and to me, it's kind of like I'm an investigator,
Okay.
scientific investigator.
Right.
So, it's fun.
Okay.
It's a good time.
So now you've got your first tour. Is that correct? Is this going to be your first one to do in our community?
Yes.
Coming up on November the 17th, and sort of explain to our audience, if you will, what they can expect.
Okay. Well, I'm really excited to bring the tours to downtown Cullman. The first tour is going to be Saturday night, November 17th. It's at 6:30. We're going to all meet like in the downtown warehouse district under the Festal Farmers Market, the pavilion there, the Big Wood Pavilion.
Right.
But what we're doing, it's a walking tour.
Okay.
And everyone that participates will get their own piece of equipment.
Okay.
So that's the really neat thing about my tours that other places do not do. I mean, I've been on, 10, 12 tours, and you never got your own equipment.
Okay.
So everybody gets their own equipment, so they get to be their own little investigator.
That's your part.
Yes,
Okay.
and we'll do a walking tour, learning the history
Right.
and any haunted history of Cullman. And then we're also going to be investigating 2 different local buildings.
Okay.
2 merchants are gracious enough to let us do investigations there.
And without saying too much, because we don't want to give too much away, but those buildings are located right downtown. And I understand that one of the owners or the proprietor of that particular business has indicated that there are some unusual things that have taken place inside that building.
Yes.
So
Both owners have actually said that there has been some unusual things, and I've interviewed. I mean, I actually did my research and interviewed people who were, other merchants, proprietors in those buildings, and they
Okay.
had the same things happening.
Okay.
So basically, you'll get to go in there, investigate, and see if you can find out anything for yourself.
So you'll explain that, I'm sure,
Yes.
before you go into a particular. How long does the tour normally last, typically?
Well, since this is the very first one, we're
Right.
actually doing 2 places.
Okay.
Typically, it's usually about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half? Well,
yeah, hour and a half.
good.
I mean, maybe 2 hours. Just depends on how people get involved. And
Right.
it is an interactive tour.
Sure.
People, once they start finding things out or they get readings and everybody starts talking,
Right.
they seem to really enjoy themselves.
Okay.
So.
All right. So you'll do tour 2, and that day on the 17th, the first one will start at what time?
It's at 6:30.
6:30. And then you hope to start the second at 8:30?
Well, we're actually going to just do one
Just the
tour.
one? Okay. Okay.
This one in November, since we're running into the holidays and everything.
Okay.
So we're just going to do one.
The one? Okay.
And then what my goal is to do one monthly, at least one monthly.
Okay.
Would like to do 2 monthly.
Right.
So, and actually, rotate different places, because I've actually found several places in Cullman and the surrounding areas
Okay.
that may be haunted. So,
Okay.
so yes, we plan to rotate that.
Okay. Now, do we need to get a ticket ahead of time? If so, how do we do that? And what is the cost?
Okay. We prefer that you book online.
Good.
And it's at my website. It's www.southernghostgirls.com.
Okay.
They are $20.
Okay.
And you just, you book your tour there. Just go onto the website, book tour, and your ticket is there.
Is there. Okay.
So,
good.
but we would prefer that, so we'll know how many people to expect.
Yeah.
But you can also pay at the door. We won't turn you away.
Okay, great.
So,
do you think, is there going to be a limit? Are you going to try to limit the groups, or will it matter?
I'm thinking probably 30
Right.
30 and under, 30 people.
Right.
So
that way you'll be able to interact a little bit better, I guess, instead of having such a huge crowd.
But what I do want to emphasize too is, and this is not like a scary house or anything evil or anything like that.
Right.
It's actually a family-friendly event.
A lot of history.
A lot of history. You're learning history.
Okay.
So, use discretion if you want to bring your kids. But
Right.
it's not going to be anything bad. I
Okay.
don't do anything like that, delve into anything like that. So
Right.
it's going to be a learning experience.
It's a learning experience. Okay, so we encourage you to go ahead and go online, and Lesley gave you her website address, and do that and get registered for November the 17th, because that's coming up very, very quickly, as you know, and it'll be Saturday week actually. So
Yes.
oh my gosh, that's
yes,
just
it's
hard to
really
believe.
coming up quick.
It really is. So, and let's talk very quickly about your show. You've got a new show that you've already done one segment or two. Okay.
We have a show in production.
Okay.
We're working with Alabama Sweet TV, and it's called Southern Ghost Girls.
Okay.
So we've filmed the first episode. So
And was it fun?
Yes,
Okay.
it's fun. It's fun.
Good.
So and it's going to be just as good as any of those other shows you watch on those other channels, the major channels. So
Awesome. And I love the fact that you're doing the clothing, the period clothing. I
Yes.
think that's so neat that you're doing that.
And that's how I kind of wanted to brand our group,
Mm-hmm.
ladies from the South in the period clothing,
Sure.
our group. Because when you watch these shows, you just see a lot of guys, in T-shirts and jeans. And
Right.
that's no fun.
No, that's not fun.
You want to dress up in the period.
Sure.
So that kind of separates us
All right.
apart.
Do we have a date or anything that we can give, or do we need to do that at a later date?
Probably
Let
at a
everybody
later
know?
date. I
Okay.
know right now the promo is, you can see the promo on my website, again,
Awesome.
southernghostgirls.com. and then you can see it through Alabama Sweet TV.
Okay.
So there is a promo if you want to check that out.
Okay, awesome. Well, we're excited for you and for your friends and your niece. And I think it's going to be a fun time. So good to see you as always.
Good to see you.
Folks, be sure and get out that way and check it out. November the 17th is coming up very quickly. We'll be back with more of Cullman in the Morning right after this.